Well, good morning, and this is Kim Blaylock with Kent's Classic Sports Replays coming to you on this Sunday morning, May the 19th, 2024. And I am going to continue my replay of the 1995 World Series using Digital Diamond version 12 with Statis Pro Basic with left-right splits. We're into game 3 of this replay of the 95 World Series, which Atlanta won 4-2. And if you want to watch the first 2 games, they're very interesting games. Game 1 was a pitcher's duel. Game 2, a hitter's duel. And so 2 extremes in each game. And if you want to take a look at those games, go right ahead here on YouTube. Getting into game 3, spoiler alert, it's playing out just like well, not just like history because of the outcomes of the game, but the general outcome of the game is the same as Atlanta takes a 2-0 lead going back to Cleveland. In real life, Cleveland wins this game. I believe it was 7-6. I may be mistaken, but let me take a quick look in Baseball Reference. One second. Yeah, it was 7-6. Winning pitcher Jose Mesa, losing pitcher Alejandro Pena. But let's get into this game. On the mound today for both teams, let me go down to the field. Here we are on the field, and you'll have to forgive me a little bit, but my voice is lower than usual this morning, and my voice is low to begin with. On the mound for the Cleveland Indians will be Charles Nagy, who had a 4.55 ERA in 1995 with a 16-6 win-loss record. Since we're in the American League, there will be designated hitters in the game, and on the mound for Atlanta will be John Smoltz. Starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves, Marquise Grissom will be leading off in center field. Luis Polonia will see his first action of the series in left field. Chipper Jones will be playing third base, batting in the third spot. Batting cleanup and playing first base is Fred McGriff. In the fifth spot is David Justice in right field. Ryan Klesko will be the DH for the game, batting in the sixth position. Javi Lopez is our catcher for today, batting in the 7th. Mark Lemke at second base, batting in the 8th spot. And Rafael Belliard will be batting in the 9th spot. Charles Nagy has a PB rating of 2-6, while facing right-handed batters. So not a very wide PB rating, so it might go to the batter's card quite a bit with Nagy on the mound. So Marquise Grissom steps to the plate with a 258 batting average in 95 with 12 home runs. So let's get this party started as it's Atlanta up 2-0, as here we are in Cleveland, Progressive Field in Cleveland. PB 2-6, the roll is a 5. It will go on Nagy's card. That 14, however, will be a leadoff single by Marquise Grissom as he drives the ball into left field. Albert Bell fielding it, tossing it back in. And Grissom, with the good speed, will be attempting to steal as Nagy goes into the windup. That random number of 42 with a OBR of A. Any runner rated SPA steal, so it will be a successful steal by Grissom as Nagy goes into windup. He gets a good break off the bag. And headed down to second is Grissom. Runner already in scoring position as Luis Polonia steps to the plate. Again, this is Polonia's first action in the series. Polonia on the season batted .264. Does not have any pop to his bat, no home runs. But he only had 53 plate appearances, so rarely used. But since we have a right-handed pitcher, we want a left-handed hitting player. Using Klesko as a DH, Polonia better in the field, better defensive player, so he'll play left field. Again, 2-6. Polonia steps in. PB of 7, that goes to Polonia's card. That random number of 14, and that's a single into center field. And going from second to home on a single with a run of 5, that's an 11 to 64 for Grissom. So we'll roll that to see if he makes it, and he does not. He gets gunned down. So trying to do too much. Grissom, see if I enter that right. Yep. As he headed for home, Grissom, with a great throw from Lofton, that T5 of Lofton, guns him down at home, and there goes the chance for the score for Atlanta as Grissom sliding in. Alomar makes the tag for out number 1. So a runner taken off the base, and Luis Polonia now standing on first as a great defensive play by Kenny Lofton guns down Marquise Grissom at the plate. That brings up Chipper Jones to the plate. Again, a 2-6 PBE. And this time it will be on Jones, Chipper's card. That 37, though, however, will be a strikeout as Nagy gets him on the curveball for out number 2. So 2 down as the crime dog steps to the plate. And y'all have to excuse me. I'm going to have to keep my throat a little wet with the coffee this morning because of, like I said, I'm a little low talking this morning. 2-6. Here's the roll. It is a 9. It will go on the crime dog's card. That roll of 63, however, is an out, but we will check for an error. Grounded too short. He has an E of 1. No error. And that is going to do it for the top of the first as McGriff grounds to Vizquel at short. Up with it is Vizquel. Fires it over to first to Sorrento for out number 3. And we go to the bottom of the first with John Smoltz on the mound for the Atlanta Braves with an SP of 14. He had a 3.18 average in 95 with a 12-7 record with a 1.24 whip. So pretty good numbers from Smoltz. He has a 2-7 PB. And Kenny Lofton is going to step to the plate. Lineup for Cleveland, leading off is Kenny Lofton in center field. Batting in the second spot is Omar Vizquel at short. Carlos Baerga in the third spot at second base. Albert Bell in left field is batting in the cleanup spot. Eddie Murray, your DH for the game, is in fifth. Jim Thome batting in the sixth spot at third base. Manny Ramirez in the seventh spot. Paul Sorrento batting in the eighth spot at first base. And Sandy Alomar Jr. catching. Lofton steps in. Here's the pitch. It will be on Smoltz's card. That 22, however, will be a leadoff single in to right field by Lofton as he slaps one past McGriff at first. David Justice comes up with it, fires it back in. And the OBR of A for Lofton, he's going to be running as well as Smoltz goes into the windup. He takes off that 85. However, before he can take off, Smoltz fires to the bag, holding Lofton on, and there will be no still attempt at this bat as Vizquel now rolling against him. It's going to be again on Smoltz's card. That 53 will be an out on a SN. That's a ground ball back to first. We will check for an error. He is an E of 1. And there's no error. So it's a G6A. As it's grounded short, belly yard up with it. But they will not get Lofton as he broke well. It's going to be a fielder's choice as Belliard fires it over to McGriff. So Lofton moved into scoring position by Vizquel as Carlos Baillarga steps to the plate. Baillarga batted .314 with 15 home runs. As you can see, it's a very skilled hitting lineup for the Cleveland Indians. Here's the pitch to Baillarga. Will be on Baillarga's card. 85 will be an out. Fly ball into center field. We'll check for the error. There is none. So it's a easy can of corn fly, shallow fly ball to Marquise Grissom. Lofton will stay. But now with 2 outs, Kenny Lofton will be running on contact. Any numbers that he has for any ranges, random numbers off of hits will be increased by 20. And so it's going to be pretty hard to get Kenny Lofton out. And that'll bring Albert Bell to the plate. Albert Bell in 95 batted .317 with 50 home runs. So don't leave one hanging for Albert Bell. It's going to be on Smoltz's card. At 44, he got him with the heat, the heater, the cheese, struck him out for out number 3, and we go to the second. Scoreless here. Progressive Field in Cleveland. And that'll bring David Justice to the plate. Batted .253 with 24 home runs in 1995. Nagy goes into the windup. It will be on Nagy's card with the roll of 5. That 78 will be an out. It's grounded back to Nagy, who has an error of 2. Will there be an error? There is none, so it's a simple E. Simple G1 put out. Flips it to Sorrento at first for out number 1. That's going to bring up Ryan Klesko. Klesko batted .310 with 23 home runs. As Nagy goes into the windup, Klesko digs in. Will be on Nagy's card. At random of 43. And he walks him. Klesko with a good eye takes the free pass down to first. As Klesko does not run well, there won't be any extracurricular activity on the bases, as he's a OBR of E, which is the worst running rating that you can have. And that brings up Javi Lopez, batted .315 with 14 home runs. Nagy into the windup. Be on Lopez's card. That roll of 23 is going to be trouble, as it is a single hit into center field, but the slow running Klesko will only go station to station as it's a base hit past Vizquel at short. Lofton ranges slightly over to left field, fields it, fires it back in, but we have runners on first and second now. One out as Mark Lemke steps to the plate. Lemke batted .253 with 5 home runs. And here's the pitch. It's going to be on Nagy's card. At 27, struck him out. Almost a base hit to 25, but 26 through 38 is the strikeout for Nagy. So he gets him on the bender for out number 2. So 2 outs, runners on first and second as Rafael Belliard comes to the plate. Belliard batting .222 and 95 with 0 home runs. He's not going to have much pop. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be on Belliard's card. That 36 hit by pitch as Nagy tries to get inside on him and plunks Belliard in the shoulder as Belliard leaned in and took it for the team. And now the bases are dripping, loaded as Marquis Grissom comes back to the plate. Grissom singled and stole second his first time up, but was gunned down at home on a great play by Kenny Lofton from center field in inning number 1. Things are getting a little shaky here for Nagy. And a little bit of a bind. Can he pitch himself out? It will be on Grissom's card. That roll of 81 will be an out. It's grounded too short. Check for an error. There will be none. So it's a ground ball hit sharply at Vizquel at short. Vizquel up with it, fires it over to first for out number 3. So 3 left stranded as we go to the bottom of the second. Had a 1 hit, 3 runners on, but no luck getting them across. As now Cleveland comes to the plate with Eddie Murray, the DH, stepping in, batted .323 with 21 home runs in 95. Smoltz, 2-7 PB. Here's the roll. It is an 8. It'll go on Murray's card. At 71, however, will be an out. It's lifted into right field. Justice's error rating is a 2. Will there be an error? There is none, so it's just a lazy fly ball hit into left field. Right field. And David Justice settles underneath it for the easy Del Monte play, the can of corn. And that's going to bring Jim Thome to the plate. In the postseason, he entered the game batting .167, so his bat's been kind of silent. Will this be the time that it wakes up? Will be on Smoltz's card. That roll of 86 will be an out. That's going to be a ground ball too short. Check on the error. There is none. So it's sharply hit at Belliard at short. Ground ball. Fires it over McGriff at first for out number 2. 2 down. And Manny Ramirez to the plate. It's going to be on Smoltz's card. That 28 struck him out as Smoltz gets him on a slider for out number 3 as Manny goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Smoltz. As we go to the third, still scoreless here in Cleveland. And Luis Polonia coming back to the plate. Singled his first time up. Here's the offering. Since there's no one on, we won't use the BD. We'll flip it again. It will be on Nagy's card. That 56 will be an out. And that's grounded to short. Check the error rating. There is none. Simple ground ball to short. As it's hit sharply to Vizquel, plays it easily. Over to Sorrento. One. And that's going to bring up Chipper Jones. Chipper struck out his first time up. Nagy into the windup. Will be on his card. That 54 is an out. It's a ground ball to third. Jim Thome up with it. Fields it easily. Fires it over to first for the 5-3 put out. And out number 2. And that brings up the crime dog. Out to short his last time up. Nagy looking to close it out. No runners on, so no CD. It will be on McGriff's card. 71 is an out. Fly ball into left field. We'll check for an error. There is none. Easy fly ball for Bell to play in left field as it's just shallow fly ball. Bell plays it. Squeezes it for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the third, still scoreless here in Cleveland. And Paul Sorrento coming to the plate. Sorrento batted .235 with 25 home runs. So it's not the best average, but he does get some pop when he does hit. So Smoltz looking at Sorrento with a 2-7 PB will be on Sorrento's card. That 25 will be trouble as Smoltz gives him heat, but it's over the middle of the plate, and Paul Sorrento cranks it and drives it in to right field over the head of David Justice and into the seats for a home run here as we start the bottom of the third. And Cleveland now takes a 1-0 lead on the home run by Paul Sorrento as he introduces himself to this World Series. And that's going to bring up Sandy Alomar as he high fives Sorrento as he heads to the dugout. Smoltz throws down his rosin bag in disgust and glares at Alomar. 2-8 against Alomar. Nobody on, so it's no BD. Will be on Alomar's card. Roll of 56. However, is an out. Grounded to third. We will check Chipper's error rating. No error. It's a good thing. He's an E7. That's ground ball to third. Route number 1. That's going to bring Kenny Lofton back to the plate. Smoltz into his windup. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 68 is an out. Grounded to second. We'll check for an error. There is none. Simple G4 put out. 4-3 Lemke to McGriff. As it's grounded to Lemke. They get Lofton by step. The speedy Lofton barrel down the base. And that brings up Omar Vizquel. He's batting .333 with an RBI in this postseason. He grounded to third his last time up. PB 2-7. It will be on Smoltz's card. The 73 is an out. Grounded to second. We'll check Lemke's for an error. There is none. Again, another just G43 putt out. For out number 3, but not before a run comes across on the Sorrento home run into right field. And we go to the top of the 4th. Cleveland 1, Atlanta nothing. David Justice stepping to the plate. Nagy so far pitching well. Allowed 3 hits. He does have 4 points against his SP, but he has an SP of 17, so he's going to be in for the long haul, I imagine. Justice stepping to the plate, grounded out back to the pitcher. His first time up. It will be on Nagy's card. 78 is an out. And it's just a deep fly ball into right field as it takes Ramirez back to the warning track, but not deep enough. Just a long out for out number 1. And that will bring up Ryan Klesko, the DH. Reached on a walk his last time up. Here's the pitch from Nagy. Will be on Klesko's card. That 36 is trouble as Nagy now has left one out over the plate, and Ryan Klesko has cranked on it. He drops one into the right field seats as he's hit one fast and hard and gone. Last time I seen something fly that far that fast, it had a stewardess on it. Name the movie. So we're tied up now 1-1 as we've seen 2 home runs now in the game. And Javi Lopez coming to the plate. Will be on Lopez's card. That 71 is an out. Grounded to third. No error as Tommy makes the play. Fields it, fires it over to for out number 2. Mark Lemke coming to the plate. Will be on Nagy's card. 51 is a pass ball, but nobody's on base, so just take that as ball 3, and we'll re-roll. Still on Lemke's card. That 22 will be trouble, though, as that is a single into right field as he hits it sharply between Baerga and Sorrento. Ramirez runs in, fields it, tosses it into Baerga, or excuse me, Vizquel, and have a runner on now with 2 outs. And Belliard stepping to the plate. And now we do have a BD, but anything under 15 on this next roll, random roll, and he'll have a hit. And it is a 12. So it's a double into center field. First at home on a double with an OBRB against a T5. With 2 outs, we'll add 20. So that's 11-78. That's a roll. And he will make it. So that's a 2BF8 R1. And that's going to be a RBI score scoring double. And we have a 2-1 Atlanta lead now here in the top of the fourth. And Marquise Grissom coming to the plate. And that's 9 SPs used up by Nagy. Will be on Grissom's card. That 81, however, will be an out. Ground ball too short. At Vizquel. Up with it is Vizquel. Fires it over Sorrento. But not until 2 runs come across on a home run and an RBI scoring double. And we go to the bottom of the fourth with Atlanta leading 2-1. And Carlos Baerga coming to the plate. Smoltz, happy to have the lead, goes into his windup. Will be on Baerga's card. That 35 is a sharply hit ball that gets by Grissom in center field, bounces around on the wall, and Baerga with decent and good speed is going to slide in safely under the tag of Belliard for a leadoff double by Carlos Baerga. And that'll bring up Albert Bell with the speedy Baerga on second. Here's the pitch to Bell. Will be on Bell's card. That 83 will be an out. It's grounded to third. Check for an error. There is none. So it's a G5 to Jones. Hitting it to third will hold Baerga at second. So it just fires it over to McGriff for out number 1. That brings up Eddie Murray. Flew out to right his last time up. Baerga takes a slight lead. Here's the offering. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 55 is a wild pitch. So Smoltz gets a little wild. Throws one by Javi Lopez. And that's going to move Baerga over to third with the wild pitch. Now, runner on third with only 1 out, and Eddie Murray still at the plate. Will be on Murray's card. That 18 is trouble, as that is a single into center field. Scoring Baerga, and we're tied up 2-2 as Eddie Murray comes through with a single into center field. And this game is tied up 2-2, and that brings up Jim Thome. Like I've said in prior games, it does not get any easier for Atlanta with these batters. Thome grounded out to short his first time up. Will be on Thome's card. That 41, he struck him out, got him on the heater as he blew it by Thome. For out number 2 as Thome swings through it, swing and a miss for out number 2. 3 strikeouts on the day for John Smoltz. That brings up Manny Ramirez. Struck out his last time up. Here's the offering. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 86 is an out. Grounded to third. We'll check on Chipper. And he boots it. It's an error 1 on the third baseman. A G5, error 1, third baseman, boots ground ball, batter to first. Runners advance, 1 base. So that's just going to be an E5 that's going to move Murray over to second. Not something Smoltz wanted to see is an error by his third baseman, but that E7's problematic. It's now runners on the corners for Paul Sorrento. Sorrento, the only thing he did was hit a home run his last time up. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 75 is an out. LP is grounded to first. We check for an error. There is none. And it's hit sharply at the crime dog. And he makes the play to close out the inning, but not before this game is knotted back up 2-2. And we go to the fifth, all tied up. And as is often said, it's a ballet game, 2-2. I don't know if it's often said. I know Kurt Berglund says it. Polonia steps to the plate, grounded out to short his first time up. Here's the offering. It will be on Polonia's card. That 81 is an out. Grounded to second. We'll check by Arga for the error. There is none. Just a ground ball. 2 second. Baarga up with it, fires it over to Sorrento at first. For out number 1. That's going to bring up Chipper Jones. Grounded to third his last time up. 0 for 2 on the day. He's not doing well in this postseason, batting 125. Here's the pitch. Will be on Jones's card. That 62 is an out. Grounded back to Nagy. We'll check for an error. There is none as it's hit sharply back at Nagy on the mound, but he fields it. Fires it to Sorrento for out number 2. That brings up the crime dog. Flew out to left his last time up. Here's the offering. Will be on McGriff's card. 14, and he hits one past Baarga at second. Out into center field. Lofton fields it, tosses it in, and it's a 2-out single by Freddie McGriff. That brings up David Justice, 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to right his second time up. Will be on Justice's card. That 66, however, is an out. It's a liner at Tommy on third. Can he make the, well, yeah, it was on Justice's card. We will check for an error. And he makes it as it hits sharply on a rope toward Tomei to protect his own head. He makes the play. Come on, system. There we go. Line shot at Tomei, makes the play for out number 3. Runner left stranded. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, tied up 2-all. And coming to the plate, Sandy Alomar grounded to third his last time up. Smoltz into his windup. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 11, however, will be a base hit by Alomar as he gets good wood on it. Drops it into center field in front of Grissom for a leadoff single by Sandy Alomar. Slow running Alomar is no threat to steal as Kenny Lofton steps back to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day. Will be on Lofton's card. That 31 is a double into left field. Ken Alomar score, double. First to home on a double in the left field, T of 3, running D, 11-58. He's not going to attempt it. He's just going to hold it third. So that's just a well-hit ball in the left field. It gets to the wall. In center field. And with no outs, we have runners on second and third. With no outs, Smoltz in a little bit of a bind here. That brings Vizquel to the plate. So do we walk Vizquel in order to now we're just going to pitch to him. We'll bring the infield in, though. That is on Smoltz's card. Roll 76 is an out. It is in. It's just a pop-up to third. So just what he ordered. No advancement of anybody on base. And he gets the out. Can he pitch himself out of this jam? As now Carlos Baerga steps up. Will be on Smoltz's card once again. That 13, though, is trouble, as that is a base hit into left field. Base hit into left field. Single into left field with a runner on second to home on a single. He runs it an A, T of 3, 11-74. He is going to attempt it. I can't see the card. Let me remove that. And they gun him down at home. Oh, boy. Said he was going to attempt it, so that's what's my call. So 1 BF7 R 2 X 2. So Alomar is going to score, but Kenny Lofton is going to be testing the arm of Polonia in left field. He has great speed, but he gets him as great tag applied by Lopez. So 2 down. Now it's 3-2 Cleveland. Will be on Smoltz's card. 44. Struck him out for strikeout number 4. And that'll close out the 5th. But we have Cleveland up now, 3-2. For 3-2 Cleveland. Coming to the plate, Ryan Klesko. Nagy. Is down to 7 SPs. Here's the pitch. Will be on Klesko's card. That 27 will be a well-hit ball into right field. It gets by Ramirez. Makes it to the wall, And Klesko, although he does not run well, has hit it well enough to slide into second base safely for a leadoff double by Ryan Klesko. That brings up Javi Lopez as the Braves got something going here in the sixth. Lopez steps up. Will be on Lopez's card. That 33 is a double into center field. And that will score Klesko. And we are tied 3-3 as these teams are battling out in this World Series. And it's now 3-all, no outs, runner on second for Mark Lemke. And Nagy struggling now. That has him at 9, 10, at 13 SBUs, so he's only got 4 left. Will be on Lemke's card. At 21 will be trouble as that's a single into right field. Can Lopez score? Single. Second to home on a single. And let's look at Ramirez. I can't see that T. He's got an arm of 2. Not very good. T2. But he's got an OBR of D. It's 11-64. He will attempt it. And he makes it. So that's a 1. That's a 1 BF9 with the runner on second, taking 2 bases. Lopez will score. And Atlanta now takes the lead. And Nagy in trouble here. I won't be trying to steal second. Not with the momentum going. Will be on Belliard's card. That 82, however, is an out. At RN, it's grounded back to Nagy. Will he make the play? He will. So that's a G1 ground ball. Can they turn 2 on this? And they do, as Nagy makes the play, fires it to Vizquel covering and slams it over to Sorrento for a double play. Much needed double play as Atlanta has now took a 4-3 lead. And that's going to bring up Marquise Grissom. Grounded out to short his last time up. Here is the pitch. Will be on Nagy's card. At 24. Struck him out as Nagy pitches himself out of a bit of a jam, but not after 2 runs come across. So I guess effectively he did not pitch himself out of a jam. He pitched himself into one as he trails now 4-3. And Eddie Murray coming to the plate for John Smoltz. Smoltz so far has 4 points left as well on his SP. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 23 is a single slapped into right field. by Eddie Murray. Leadoff single by Murray puts him on the base and reduces Smoltz to 3. That brings up Jim Thome. Here's the offering. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 63 is an out. LP is a ground ball to second. Check for an error. There is none. So it's a G4A. Hit to Lemke at second. And it's a slow roller that Lemke's only play is to first to get the fielder's choice. So Murray will move to second. Let me get my board at the right place. So 1 out, runner on second for Manny Ramirez. And we have a CD play, CD table. It's going to be on the second baseman. He's got a CD of 3. Let's get the random number. 53, CD of 3, 53. And that's not going to be any call, so we re-roll. This time it's going to be on Smoltz's card. That 56 is an out. An RP. It's just a deep fly ball to left. And with Murray's OBRV, he's not going to be going anywhere, even on a deep fly ball, especially to left field. So we got 2 outs, and Murray on second. He'll be running on contact. Sorrento homered his first time up. Here is the pitch to Sorrento. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 48. He walks him. He was cautious with him. Didn't want to see another home run, but he gives him a free pass down to first. So now with 2 outs, there's runners on first and second, and Sandy Alomar coming to the plate. Smoltz starting to show some fatigue. Will be on Smoltz's card. That 36, however, as he bears down and gets Alomar with the heater, struck him out for out number 3. So Smoltz pitches himself out of that jam, and we go to the 7th with Atlanta up 4-3. And Luis Polonia coming to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day is Polonia. Here's the offering from Nagy. Will be on Nagy's card. 24, though, that is a single hit into right field, as Polonia pulls one down the line past Sorrento. Ramirez plays it quickly into second to hold the runner on. And now that's going to be all for Nagy. Let's see who my manager says to bring in. Dennis Cook. Okay, Dennis Cook's going to come in relief. And one of these changes. for Cleveland. A 6.39 ERA in 11 games. The 2.05 whip. So Jones, looking at Cook, 2 to 5 PB. So it's going to be on Jones's card. That 85 will be an out, though. Deep fly ball into center field. Check for the error. There is none. So FD8. Route number 1. Sorry for the delay. 1 down, runner on first. Fred McGriff coming to the plate. Oh, and we get our first Z chart result. Get our random number. That's a 47 on our Z chart. Consult fielding table and draw a new random number. It's a 21. Shortstop muffs grounder, batter safe on error, and runners advance 1 base. If CD4 at shortstop, batter is out. He is not, so it's just an E6. And that's going to have runners now on first and second with 1 out after the boot by Vizquel. Now both teams have committed an error. And Cook just looks at Vizquel and shakes his head as David Justice comes to the plate. Will be on Cook's card. That roll of 86 will be an out. It's grounded to short once again. We're checking for an error once again. This time there will be none. It's an error rating of 2 to 10, but Vizquel's only a 1. So that's just a G6, and I believe that's going to be a double play. That's going to be a rally killing, soul crushing double play. Thank you, Kurt. To close out the top of the 7th, we go to the bottom of the 7th. That's Take Me Out to the Ball Game plays. And it's Atlanta 4, Cleveland 3. John Smoltz still on the mound, but fading. As Lofton comes to the plate. Will be on Lofton's card. That 51. He walks him as Lofton gets the free pass. And that's one man you don't want on your base path. As he is going to be attempting to steal. He is a OBRB. That roll of 86, however, Smoltz does a good job of keeping him on the bag, and we're going to let Smoltz face Vizquel, and then he's probably going to be going to the bench. That's roll of 10. It's on Vizquel's card. That roll of 54. It's a wild pitch. And that's going to do it for Smoltz. As that's his second wild pitch of the day. He's now got runners on second and first and second. And we're going to bring in a pitcher for Atlanta. Pedro Bourbon. One second while I make this transaction. So Pedro Bourbon comes in a bit of a pinch. He's inherited a runner on second with no outs. And Javi Lopez talking to his pitcher, telling him the situation and what he needs to do to get Omar Vizquel. Bourbon had a 3.09 average with 2 saves. As Vizquel steps up 2 to 7 PB, he has 4 relief rating. It's going to be on Vizquel's card. That 61 is going to be a passed ball as Bourbon comes in, and Lopez could not field it, and that's going to move Lofton all the way down to third with no outs. Here's the pitch. It's going to be on Vizquel's card. That 11 is going to be a RBI scoring single in the left field. And we're tied up 4-4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Which brings up Carlos Baerga with a runner on first. Tied up 4-4. Will be on Bourbon's card. At 34, struck him out as Bourbon brought the heat and struck out Baerga. So runners on first, 1 out for Albert Bell. It will be a BD rating, anything under 51, and it's a hit. And it is a 13. It's going to be a double into center field from it's going to move Vizquel all the way over to third. Not going to attempt to go with a C. That brings up the DH, Eddie Murray. Will be on Bourbon's card. 23, however, will be a single into right field. Bell with an OBR of A. Let me see if he'll be safe. Got ahead of myself. Single scoring from second. Watch Justice's arm again. Remember. The 3. OBRV. First, second to home. On a single. 11 to 74. He is going to attempt it. And he will be safe. So all of a sudden, Pedro has come in and threw up all over himself. And Atlanta has quickly given up the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. As it is now 6-4 Cleveland. And Bourbon is done for the day. So if we bring in a lefty. Bring in Jim Poole. Bringing in the wrong pitcher. I don't even know what I'm thinking here. Trying to bring in a pitcher out of the Cleveland dugout. Bullpen. Find another lefty to bring in. And bring in Mike Stanton. Sorry for the delay. So one out here in the bottom of the seventh. 3 runs have come across. And we have a 6-4 Cleveland lead with Jim Thome coming to the plate. Eddie Murray on first. 1 out, 1 on. Murray will not be running. He runs at an E. His on base running. So he will not be attempting anything as Mike Stanton steps in. It will be on Stanton's card. That 27 struck him out as he strikes out Eddie Murray. Route number 1. I mean, Jim Thome, excuse me, Murray's on first. Got Murray on the mind. That brings up Manny Ramirez. Again, Stanton's he's got an E of 10, though. So if it do an error check on Stanton, won't be a good thing. Again, this time it will be on Ramirez's card. That 23 is a base hit. It's a single dropped into center field as it gets down in front of Grissom. Murray will be going station to station again. So 2 on, 2 outs, and Paul Sorrento coming to the plate. Everyone will be running on contact. Again, when with 2 outs, the random 4 will be on Stanton's card. That roll of 31, another strikeout as he blows one by Sorrento for out number 3 and pitches out of that 2-on situation. But 3 runs do come across, and Cleveland leads 6-4 as we go to the top of the 8th. Coming to the plate for Atlanta is Ryan Klesko. Dennis Cook still on the mound. He's faced 3 batters, has allowed no hits, so he is still good on his relief rating of 7. So Klesko steps in, the designated hitter. Klesko hit a home run in the 4th and a double in the 6th. So Klesko's had a great day today. He's 2 for 2 with a home run and an RBI. And he walked his first time up. It will be on Cook's card. That 21, however, will continue the hot hitting for Klesko as he drops one hard down the line in right field. Ramirez gets to it, but not before it gets to the wall. And Klesko who does not run well, still finds himself sliding in safely for a leadoff double here in the 8th. So Klesko on second as Javi Lopez comes to the plate. Lopez has entered this game batting .800 with 1 RBI. Nobody down. Klesko's hanging out on second. Here's the pitch to Lopez. Will be on Lopez's card. That 88 will be an out, however. That RP will be a ground ball to third, checking for the error. There will be none. So that's just a G5 put out. That will hold Klesko on second. Again, he's not any threat to be running. As it's grounded to Tommy at third, and 1 gone. Runner on second, and Mark Lemke coming to the plate. Just want to check, ask the manager real quick. We're all set. Lemke coming to the plate. 2 for 3 on the day with an RBI and a run scored. It will be on Lemke's card. That 83 again, however, will be an out. He's a switch hitting neutral, and it's a grounded 2 short. We'll check for the error. There is none, so that GX6. Grounded is Vizquel at short. Klesko at second. This may move him over. No, Klesko still holds as it's hit too hard at Vizquel at second for him to be able to move across. One second. So 2 down here in the 8th. I need to do one thing here. I need to change my brand. I left my brand up. Apologize. There's been a little glitch in the matrix here, so we're having a little bit of issue, but we'll be corrected shortly. There we go. And we're back. I apologize for that, but here we go. Having some computer issues this morning. 2 outs, Klesko on second, and Rafael Belliard stepping to the plate. We'll be on Belliard's card. That 24 could be trouble, and it is. It's a single into right field. With 2 outs, that means we're going to add 20 to the OBR for Klesko. Ramirez has a throwing arm. Let me check that throwing arm. Of 2. Not the best arm on Ramirez. So, second home on a single, running at an E. It's 11-58, but you're going to add 20 because it's 2 outs. So that's 11-78. He is going to attempt to come home, and he will make it. So that's a 1. It's a 1 BF 9. The runner on second will take 2 bases. And that's going to score Klesko, and we're going to have a 6-5 game here in the top of the 8th. And excuse my dogs. They're feeling frisky. Cook is now allowed to run. He's allowed 2 hits and a run, so that's 3 of his 7. We have a runner on first, 2 outs, 6-5 ball game. So we're now 6-5 here in the 8th. What a exciting series this has been, and another exciting game. 6-5 in the 8th. 2 outs, runner on first, and Marquise Grissom coming back to the plate. Here's the pitch. Will be on Grissom's card. That 57, however, will be an out. It's a grounded to second. We'll check for an error. There is none. So that's going to close out the inning on the ground out to or run.